Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's Wes here, aka Seahawks Prime, and this is the Seahawks Times, your go-to NFL channel on YouTube. And if you're a Seahawks fan, you must subscribe. Actually, if you're just a football fan in general, I highly suggest you subscribe because you'll love this channel. Anyways, the elephant in the room in Santa Clara, in the Bay Area, where I have lots of family. Yes, I'm a diehard Seahawks fan, but the rivalry between the Niners, it's in my heart. So it gives me love as much as it gives me disdain with the Niners, because they have such a great tradition, the San Francisco 49ers, in the 80s and even into the 90s, and teams that they've had recently, I can't knock it. They've had some dark patches in their organization, but you know what? They are a legendary team that has some of the greatest players of all time in their lineage, and you have to respect what San Fran has done. I have many friends that are diehard Niners fans as well as family. So, this video is just for me to also show that I don't just look at it purely as a Seahawks fan. I'm also an NFL fan, and I love the players and the game and what they sacrifice. And this particular player here on the table right now is Deebo Samuel, and Deebo Samuel is a polarizing athlete. He is still underrated, even with all that he's accomplished last season. He was hurt a couple seasons before and playing in an offense, they didn't really feature him as much. Shanahan didn't, and I think it's overrated that they're saying Deebo is purely somebody who can just, be effective carrying the ball. That is nonsense. He had over 1,400 yards in the passing game last year and 6 TDs. That's nothing to shake a stick at, especially at the distance he was catching some of these balls. He has an amazingly gifted peripheral vision that's, basically superhuman and balance that is just insane. He's up there. To me, he's a top 3 weapon in the NFL. And I don't care if it's not all pure receiving yards. It's about production in the NFL. So with that and his over 360 rushing yards and TDs there, combining for 14 touchdowns and doing all of that. And it's not with Deebo, it's not just about those stats, it's about when it happens in the game. So many of those are clutch plays that either clinch the game or get them back into a game. And that cannot be overlooked. What the clutch factor of a player has insane value. And I watch NFC West teams like nobody else. I'm a true student of it. And I think Deebo Samuel needs to be paid, and he needs to be paid now. And I'm sure Kyle Shanahan and Lynch and that organization are smart enough to do it. What I think is holding back that contract is what the guaranteed money is going to be, because California state taxes are pretty high, 13.3% or so. Deebo's looking for a huge payday now, not because he was particularly abused in the running game last year. I know he wants to, ease off of that a bit and, they'll lean on Mitchell and stuff more, but because he's about 26 years old, going on 27, he's looking for that big contract, that guaranteed money now, because tomorrow is not promised. And the way that this kid plays and fills the stands and the energy and power that he brings to the Niners offense, he needs to be and deserves to be paid up there with the Metcalfs and the Devontaes and stuff like that, point blank, period, comma. And that just is what it is. He's a fantastic player, and, pay that man his money. I don't know if you guys have seen Rounders. Anyways, the Niners, let's talk a little bit about their offense as well from an outsider's fan perspective. I have, my friend Dan is an amazing Niners fan. I know lots of people that are really into this, and we have discussions, and I agree with them with a lot of points. They have underrated talent this season. Jawan Jennings is coming up. Ayuk, I'm looking to have a breakout year there. Trey Lance is a question mark to me, and I think a question mark to a lot of these other fans. But what you want to do is you want to bring Deebo in here just to pull, just to cement and gel everything, to show your star and elite athletes that they will get paid if they stay with the organization and they're loyal to the organization, and they can produce. I think if they can secure Deebo Samuel this season, they can get into the playoffs quite simply in a weak NFC. Even with Garoppolo departing, it's not instantaneous that Garoppolo leaving kills the Niners per se. I do not believe that the Niners are instantaneously, an NFC championship based team because Trey Lance slides in here with a bit more experience. And I think my Niners friends would agree with that. But I do believe that if you have Samuel, it just takes so much more pressure off of what Lance, if Lance needs to just escape and run and throw on the run and hit Deebo, that might turn into a TD rather than just trying to get a first down. That's the type of player that he is. Now, look, DK's contract, kind of sets the bar for Deebo's contract. I think Deebo's going to want on a little bit of a longer contract, maybe a 4-year with some more guaranteed and some more gaudy numbers. But ultimately, it's just what you're going to get the check for today. And that guarantee has to be somewhere around $65 million to me if I'm Samuel, maybe more because of that state tax difference. Look, for Metcalf, there's virtually no income tax in Washington, so it's a totally different story. And a lot of people look at the contracts, they don't understand that the state taxes have a lot to do with how gaudy those numbers are and how things are structured on paper. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Deebo Samuel, you were an amazing athlete. I hate that you're on the Niners because you're so good at football. And when you play us, I hope you have your absolute worst games. But man, you are a freaking awesome player, a freak athlete. You deserve the money you get, even though you play for red and gold. You know what it is. It's Wes here at the Seahawks Times. Make sure to hit me with a sub. And all my Niners Nation people, you know, I'm the enemy or whatever have you. Hit me with a sub because I'm a real football fan. And I think that, you know, all the stuff that we've been through as teams only kind of builds like a bond underneath it all. And the banter is all healthy because when it really comes down to it, and I go to Niners games and Seahawks games with my peoples, you know, we get down, we get busy. And yeah, I think we just both have a mutual disdain for the Packers, so it's all good. Anyways, I'm just playing. Hey, give me a shout out, give me a sub, share my channel. So in the comment section, everybody, please tell me what you think Deebo Samuel should get paid. Should he get paid by the Niners? Do you feel that he's worth it? And what should his contract look like? Those who are really deep into salary cap and that kind of stuff, feel free to drop in what, you know, if Metcalf's making this much and, you know, this other receiver's making this much, what should Samuel get at his age, his talent level, his ability, and where the Niners are right now in their win now window? Make sure to drop a sub. Much love.